89.3 FM, the only radio other radio stations listen to.
True nation building begins with character, integrity, responsibility, purpose. That's the vision of Nurture Nest on Character Matters for Nation Building. Hosted by Oluwatoyin Ogedengbe, Sundays 3 to 4 p.m. on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, Ibadan. Character Matters, building values, shaping lives.
Afternoon and welcome to Wells Radio 89.3 FM. I am Oluwatoyin Ogedengbe, your regular host, and this is Character Matters for Nation Building. It's so good to be back. We're grateful to God for sparing our lives, for preserving us in good health. Like we say, we don't take it granted at all. And then we are grateful also that our nation, our dear nation, Nigeria, is also in peace. We say a big good afternoon to all of you, our listeners out there, those who are joining us on Facebook and those who are listening across the airwaves on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radios. And then I really want to say a big thank you to the studio manager, Mr. Stephen. Thank you for always. And then to the station manager, Mr. Emmanuel Ojo, for all that you do, and the CEO, Evangelist Lillian Badimosi. So good to be back. And it's been buzzing, and everybody's looking forward to the conversation today because I have two powerhouses right here in the studios this afternoon. Like we say, this is about a call, a wake-up call. It's about challenging one another. It's not name calling. Like I always say, it's not blame game, but we're saying to ourselves, we need to begin to walk the talk. And when we're here also, it's not to say that we've always had it put together, we've always been good, we've always been perfect, but we're beginning to say to ourselves that also we need to begin to speak to the situations and the challenges that we're confronted with as a nation. And we need to begin to challenge one another to begin to walk the talk. We say that talent, if you say that talent is the car, then character is the engine, So we're looking at, okay, what really is this about character? And today we have the one that you call the atmosphere architect. What she does, she knows that you can't have a beautiful bloom without a healthy root. And as the lead event consultant at Beams Living Gardens, she's a master of creating atmospheres, not just with flowers and decor, but with the invisible power of professional trust. And, in an industry where promises are often fragile, she's built a garden of reputation that is unshakable. And she's here to teach us that if you want your business to grow, you have to start by watering your character. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Character Matters for Nation Building, the lead event consultant of Beams Living Garden, Mrs. Abimbola Okuteyang. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Pastor Toyin.
You're welcome.
It's such a pleasure to be with you on this.
Thank you so much. Like I said, we have two powerhouses, and it's such a great honor and privilege to have another woman, who is also passionate about excellence. We call her architect of excellence, So she spent years designing not just outfits, but a legacy of excellence. And she's the creative force behind the Tina Designs and the visionary founder of She Grows Africa. She doesn't just cut fabrics. She cuts through the noise of mediocrity to prove that in the fashion world, integrity is the only thread that never snaps. And we say that if the weight of your character were to be measured by the threads by which the fabrics were sewn, would they really stand the test of time? Join me as we welcome Dr. Tino Smith, the CEO, Tina Designs and founder of She Grows Africa, on today's show. You're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I look forward to a great session this afternoon.
Thank you. Amazing women. Thank you. And, we talk about the root of reliability because, it's not just about you designing or planning or consulting for, exotic luxury events. It's really a pleasure to have you here. And, things that require immense beauty, the things that you do in your line of work, sometimes things go wrong, and sometimes flowers wither. Sometimes the weather changes, and like we were saying yesterday was Valentine. Some of the roses are beginning to wither already, but we're saying what about character? That this we need to begin to focus on the things that really last. So how do you keep your integrity from wilting, from withering?
Thank you so much, Pastor Tony. I hope you don't mind me calling you that.
It's okay.
All right, okay. So right from the onset, for me, when I started Beams Living Gardens, I needed some values to keep me on track. Yeah. And right from the onset, I decided to use BIMS, BIMS, as an acronym for a value system. Okay. And so we have B as belief in God. We have I as the I integrity factor. Awesome. And then we had N, maintaining relationships with staff and also maintaining good relationships with clients. And then we had the S as service by excellence. Okay. So right from the onstart, from the foundation of the business, integrity was a big deal for me. And I coined integrity as your words meeting your action. Your words fitting your action. Because you find out that in the space of events, you could tell your client all manner of things just to win them over. And then when it comes to execution, you find out that it's not going to be the same. Because you just wanted to get that job. And so I told myself, we won't have this in our space. We would make sure if we tell a client we're using red for you, then it's got to be red. We won't do burgundy.
And the red that you want, yes.
We won't do burgundy. We won't do dark shade of wine. We'll get you your red. And thankfully, over 3 decades, we've been able to maintain that.
Wow. How easy has that been?
Well, it's, first of all, I would say it's easy because it started from inside. It was my decision. It wasn't the clients forcing me to keep my word.
So it was something you had to make. You made up your mind that this is the route that you want to
be known for my integrity. Wow. And so with that, it was like 70% of the job completed. So the 30% could be other factors, that you're not in control of. But if that should happen, I'm always quick to highlight it to my client. That, look, I'm so sorry, we couldn't do this, you wanted this, we couldn't do this because it wasn't available at that time. And so maybe here's your refund on it, or if it doesn't need a refund, you just apologize. And they're happy. And guess what? The client doesn't even know. They don't even know anything was missing. So it's up to you to decide that, do you want to maintain that? And then it's just not for me alone. I work with a team of people. And over time, they've come to realize that, look, Beams won't go lower than what she's promised the client.
And that's because that's a decision you're taking
decision
years before you even started. That,
Absolutely.
Irrespective of whatever was going to come your way,
absolutely.
your word was going to be your bond, like we say.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Let me come over character and commerce. So the fabric of integrity, like we say, in the fashion world, we often joke about the tailor's lies. Promising a dress for a wedding on Saturday, and then the fabric hasn't even been cut.
Yeah, true.
But you've built a massive, top-notch brand. So how much of your growth is actually due to your stitch, and how much, of that is due to your word? We just said the word. Your word is your bond. So can a fashion house actually survive in Nigeria today by being 100% honest about deadlines?
Yes. Okay, so I know that fashion houses are notorious for promising and not delivering. I mean, it's something everybody says. Oh, tailors are. They just put everybody in one box. That they will tell you Tuesday, but forget it. You're going to get it the next maybe 2 weeks and all that. So, but that's one thing I've worked on over the years.
Yes.
I told myself, if they are counting those tailors that are always disappoint, always promise without delivering, I'm not going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So, and my staff knows that even if we have to have sleepless night for days to deliver, we have to deliver. When you promise, you don't just deliver. You have to over deliver. That means if you tell somebody, because they've already put their mind to that they are going to use this fabric,
and they're making payments as an agreement.
If you disappoint them, I always say integrity is I call it economic asset. Is an asset. So once every time you disappoint a customer, you are cutting.
You're cutting.
So
there's a part of the fabric.
Yeah, you are cutting something out. And once they have that, they're not going to tell you, but they tell someone else.
They tell somebody else. That's bad reputation.
You better be careful. So you wouldn't know, but people would tell others about you.
Yeah.
So I would want them to say, if you go there, even if she tells you, if she promises you, you be sure that you're going to get your clothes ready. So, and most, people, bite more than they can chew. So it's also part of integrity. When you know that you are not able to do something, you don't have the capacity to deliver. It's better to say the truth that, sorry, I cannot do this on this day you want it. Because some customers will put pressure on you. I want you to deliver now, but you know that your capacity cannot carry it.
So could it sometimes be, I know it's quickly, discussing that sometimes the fact that, you do not want to say no, you don't want to reject.
That is where integrity comes in. That's where it comes in. You already know what you have. And you don't have, maybe you don't have enough staff, you don't have enough, the timing is not, you already collected a lot. So you just have to tell them, sorry, this day you are telling me choosing cannot be possible. Can we do it also? So if they now say no, then you say, I'm sorry, I won't be able to deliver. But most times, lack of integrity is collecting something where you don't have capacity to do. You already know in your mind that this thing cannot be possible, but you still go ahead and and then some will shut down their phones. You can't speak to them, you can't reach anybody, and then you are disappointed. So you have to find something else to wear. So what we do is we see trust as capital, because when people trust you, they will be with you for life. They trust you. They go anywhere. They're outside the country. They're anywhere. They just trust you. Like Beams now, people give her jobs from all over the world. They send clothes to me from all over. They're coming home for a wedding from the US. Some have never met me before, but from referral, that she would deliver. So from referral, they say, no, we trust her. In fact, they've called me. Yes, your clothes is ready 2 weeks ahead of time that you need it. That is what integrity is all about. So trust is capital. And it also gives you brand equity, because people will buy into your brand. They will buy into it. They would even stand for you. They will vouch for the brand. Yes, they will buy into the brand as if they are the owner. They will be talking to others about you that no, I trust Beams. I trust Datina. She will not, because they've experienced. The trust they have in you has not been broken. So that's how we build integrity. And I've built my brand for 30. I think this is the 31st year that we are going now, after 30 years. That is what we sell. I tell people it's beyond the stitches. A lot of people are stitching. It's beyond, it's a big brand. It's beyond that. What we are selling, I always tell my staff, is integrity. We are selling trust, is the capital, and we are selling the brand to people so that they can also, buy into it and trust the brand, and also
and they can also come back and and I think that's where we're possibly missing, having trust as the equity. say and saying to the young and upcoming? Because, some, it's business, it's what everybody's doing. You hear that a lot. It's just about money. And it's one of the things we're saying to ourselves that, we complain a lot about several things that are not working in the nation. But if we all start from where we are,
exactly.
If everybody starts to do things right, own the space, take ownership. And, like we're saying, it must get to a point where we all say, we're just tired of this whole thing. And then we want to begin to do it right. And in doing it right, let me take this one other question that, as the founder of She Grows Africa, the vision, so I know that through the She Grows Africa project, you'll be mentoring women across, Africa. So when you look at a young entrepreneur, you see their sketches and their business plan, so, but then you're looking at, some character red flags.
Yes.
That tell you that, fantastic business plan, fantastic business idea. But character red flags. Yes. So how do you manage all of that when you have those women that you're mentoring? And you're saying to yourself, is integrity actually part of the curriculum that you teach?
Yes, it is. Yes, because we take them through, for instance, maybe like 6 months training to build their character, self-development, soft skills, all these things.
So it's not just about cutting fabrics.
We have mentors. BIM is one of the mentors to those are things with you, because without that, even if you have your skill, you can't go very far without those things, because those are the things that people would actually relate with you on. Those are the basis by which people will be able to relate with you. How truthful are you? How can they trust you? Are you dependable? Are you respectful? Those are things people are looking at when you come in contact with people. Even when they want to give you a job, some people have attitude issues. The way they don't know how to manage conflict management. They don't know. They don't know how to talk to customers. They are rude on the phone. So how these small things. Once you are rude to a customer, they might not say anything, but you will never see them again. That's the end of it. So that's what people don't understand. So before you say they are giving you jobs, they are looking at other things also. In fact, they want to see how you manage them. So that is customer management also. So we teach all this in subtle ways to make them see that it's beyond your business plan. It's beyond your business ideas. You have to have these soft skills. That's what will help you to
the
do
soft
life.
skills.
And apart from that, we also teach them character as it's based on the word of God, because we are Christians and whatever we are doing is also has to align with
what the word
Change
of God
does not
says.
come outside of God's word. That's what we believe. So whatever, even if we teach you all these soft skills and you still do not have an encounter with God, we believe that it's not balanced. So for us, we are teaching you soft skills, but we are teaching you also to
there's a foundation that needs to be laid.
We teach them, you have to life that is purpose driven, that is driven by God. That's what we teach. So we balance all together, business, teaching character, soft skills. When you have that, then you'll be a total woman. That's what makes you, an impactful woman.
An impactful woman. Okay, so fantastic job that you're doing. But I'm concerned about maybe the category of women who are able to access what you do. And then we're looking at those who are the lower cadre in the society, that tailor that is just on the street. How do we get this kind of curriculum over to such kind of people? Is there an association? You say they say, no, I want honey fashion designer, I want honey tailor, So how do you? I know it's not impossible that you have that kind of dichotomy. You have
we have clusters.
You have clusters. Okay.
Yes.
So how do you? Is there some kind of intentional grooming? Okay.
So I'll be sincere. I haven't gone to the level of all those local artisans.
Okay.
Yes, and I strongly believe that we are called to different people.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't like to, it's important to stay where within your calling. So I don't want to, go and say I'm called to grassroots and now mix the whole thing together. You have to know the target audience. Who are you sent to? So, that's what will make whatever you are doing.
Okay, but how can these lofty, fantastic initiatives just cascade down?
Yes, I think it's a good idea. You've just said it now. I'm looking at how I can reach them. I'm working on something on circular economy now.
Okay.
So which has to do with tailors that are sewing and they don't know what to do with their waste. So we are trying to get them into a cluster also. Those are the local dealers. So from there, I think this is a good. We can now teach them, how to manage their waste and also teach them other things. So I'm thinking about it actually. So that's it. Yeah, we can't leave them out of the whole.
I mean, you can, because it's not possible. We have to do this, collaboratively.
It's part of nation building. So
part of nation building. So fantastic. So that's a commitment.
Thank you. Maybe God is listening to me.
Exactly. Another.
We really need to do this, because sometimes you're looking at those you have. Yes, like you said, the category of women that you're sent to, but we're looking at the entire nation.
Yes, as a whole,
and you're saying, even some of the women that you have trained, they can become also ambassadors, and then they can go, and then
you pay it forward to other women.
To other women. Fantastic. So let's go back. The architect of atmosphere. So we're looking at the root system versus the bloom. So, and you're looking at, all that you do, for instance, in horticulture, the health of a plant depends on the roots.
Absolutely.
And then, which are hidden, usually hidden.
Always
the soil. Hidden in the soil, on the ground.
Yeah,
so, but in the events industry, because you are the lead event consultant for BEAMS, everyone focuses on the blue. It's all looking good and all of that. So, how do you handle clients? How do you handle maybe some of the young entrepreneurs who want to come into that space and, all they're just after is the glamour of a successful event. But they're really not willing, to pay for the integrity. For instance, you've talked about what you do, BEAMS, you have your core values, you train those who are with you, but how do you ensure that all of this translates to what you can see beyond yourself, foreseeing all of these things? Have you come to that point where the staff, the entire brand, have actually bought into this? Or have you experienced some challenges? How do you handle all of those?
Every Monday, we try to have a staff meeting. And I keep telling them that we've been here for well over 3 decades. That integrity actually preserves. That part of the things that have kept us in this same field for over 3 years is our integrity. So I tell them it is important that you keep this one major core value right down, because integrity preserves. Integrity preserves. Secondly, I try to tell them that when you have integrity, it's like it compounds. And over the years, just like your money compounds and you get good interest, your integrity also compounds. And it pays for you what you've never imagined it could do. For example, there's a client of mine. She's actually... I don't want to drop names, but she's a celeb in the world, from Nigeria. I did her wedding decorations way back, over 30 years ago. She loved what we did. She loved, I want to believe that part of what she liked was we were able to keep with the script of her design. We were able to deliver, which I believe is a strong part of integrity. We did that. When her mother was 70, she called us. And she doesn't live in Ibadan or your state. She's in Lagos. And there are not many decorators and consultants and event people there. She called on us. When her mother was 70, when her mother was 75, when her father died.
You had paid forward by your integrity.
So that's your integrity compounding for you, just like interest. And at the end of the day, even when her mom recently passed on, and people were wondering, what's the big deal with BEAMS? You keep calling her in. You keep there are decorators in Ibadan. You're kind of person. They're big names, But she just said no. That BEAMS understands my, and she stays with the letter. So it's so important to know that integrity compounds. And I always try to tell my staff, and younger people that come around me, that there's no shortcuts to integrity. It's a process. It's a process. And over time, you would see the dividend. So, but a lot of them, especially the younger ones now, they want to just do it anyhow. And I'm like, no way.
Anyhowness.
No way. I mean, we had a job yesterday, a 90th birthday. And for me, to be called upon to do a decor for a 90-year-old woman, it's a privilege. I mean, it's such an honor. Not everybody gets to 90 years old, for crying out loud. And we have what we call a mood board, so that whatever the client wants is written out graphically.
Okay.
So you can say, this is what we're working with, this is what we're delivering. And there was just a slight error. They didn't follow, the guys didn't follow it to the letter. So the woman calls me and says, Beams, I wanted drapery at the foyer. Your guys didn't put drapery there. So we had to tell her that, well, the hall told us we couldn't nail on the POP. And that was the truth. Now, when we had the vendors meeting, they didn't tell us we couldn't do that. So she comes in 2 hours to the event. I've paid for it, I need
and
it.
then this is what there was an agreement actually.
Exactly. So when I just told her clearly, I said, sorry, madam, we won't be able to do this because it's 2 hours to your event. If we start putting up wood and nail and whatever this guy is telling us to do now, you won't like it because your clients, your guests will come in and they will see us walking, which is a no-no. So at the end of the day, I said, would you like us to do you a refund for that? We didn't do it. And my guys were looking at
like what are you talking about?
Of another day.
I said no. I said no.
Because you knew that you didn't meet an expectation.
Perfect.
Which was an agreement.
And she kept saying it, that I loved your decor, but the only thing was you didn't have. So I was telling them, I said, sure, you can see. All your good works didn't make sense to her. Just that little bit that you think is not important. And she just kept around until I told her, Ma, we will do you a refund if you want it. Okay. And then she said she'll get back to me. Now, for me, that's a closure. Yes. So if she comes to say, okay, how much do you want to give me? I have to calculate something and return it to her. That way, she won't even mention it again. Now, what she's going to be mentioning on your account is that you gave her money back. So people don't understand that integrity has compound interest. And it's important. If the younger people know that you're not just doing integrity for integrity's sake, it's an invisible currency that causes every business to survive.
An invisible currency
that
causes
every business to survive. It's a serious currency, and once you don't have that with your clients, I'm telling you, it's hard to break. It's hard to gain again. I've seen some of my colleagues who, they take like 10 jobs on the weekend. For the life of me, I don't even know how they plan to cope, but they take it. And so they now
maybe
start
they
breaking.
Intend to get some other,
and then you find that somebody will say they said they should bring white tablecloth, but because the person didn't have it, he put silver. They said they should do gold drapes. Because he didn't have it, he used nude. And then the client comes and says, this is not my job.
Not satisfied.
Yes, and this affected a particular client. I had to call him to order. I said, you're like a brother to me, but what people are saying about you is not good. And with the age of social media now, people are not smiling. They drag you online, and they begin to blacklist you. A brand you built for so long. And
but did he listen? Because that's another thing.
He did, because he even though initially he was trying to give excuses that auntie, it's not like that. I said, look, number one has said it, number two has said it, and then I've had some of your clients last minute call me to come and take over a job. So I'm like, look, everybody can be wrong. So just be calm, sober. take it as a constructive criticism. You have a lovely brand. Everybody loves your brand, but the way you did it, I mean, when I saw one of his posts on social media, he said, last year was a learning curve for me. So I said,
there's always that learning curve. And
but you don't have to learn it the hard way.
Okay, I think I'm also, coming back to you, or maybe away to just also do that. I believe there's some kind of coming together. There's an association, and a place where we can always, these things can be discussed.
We have an association. It's called PEPVAN, Professional Event Planners Association of Nigeria. It's local to Oyo State. I think they have a few. It started from Oyo State. I'm on the board of trustees. So whenever we have meetings like that and I have to talk, I always reemphasize.
I think it's important that we're
just
speaking
stay on,
to
because
things,
not everybody who started business is still in it. I mean, if you
True.
30 years is not a small thing.
It's not.
We have a lot of brands, my age mate. Most of them are extinct now, or they've gone on to other things. That's why I said integrity preserves.
Fantastic. I'm actually also really glad that you were able to bring some of those relatable, down to earth life experiences. It's really important, because what we say, this is still character matters for nation building on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, and I have two amazing women entrepreneurs who are doing fantastic in the chosen field of enterprise. Have here, for those who may just be joining us, I have Dr. Tinu Smith. She's the CEO and founder of the Tina Designs and She Grows Africa. We also have here, she just left off speaking. If you came in when she was speaking, there's Mrs. Abimbola Okuteyang. She is the lead event consultant at Beams Living Gardens. And the reason we're doing this, because we also realize there must be that, the closing of the gap, the connect between one generation and another generation.
Absolutely.
And you see a lot of the things that we see here, even the cost of quality. I'm coming to you, ma'am. The cost of, so there's a marketplace temptation to swap high quality fabric for cheaper alternatives. And you've charged a high fee, but those ones that can't be seen, and then you want to maximize profits, for cheaper alternatives. And once a brand becomes famous, hoping the customer wouldn't notice. So as a leader in the industry, because that's usually, we say integrity is what you do.
Yes.
Whether somebody is seeing you, somebody is there or not. So that your mind is made up, I want to deliver. Excellence is the watchword. So whether the person is there or not, whether they're going to turn the fabric inside out to check, it has to just be, what we've paid for. So if they're paying for this, they have an understanding that, this person is going to deliver on this. So as a leader in the industry, we want to see, how do you handle the pressure to maximize profits at the expense of the integrity? Have you?
No, I will not do that. Those who know me now will charge you for what.
So is it? What do you think? Is there a character dividend in choosing the harder?
I was asking someone recently. I said, okay, we're talking about cheating and infidelity. So I was asking, there were young people, young women on the table, and I was asking, would they cheat? Someone said, eventually, some of them said they don't know. I said I won't answer that question that way. I know, and I know, and I tell them why I won't cheat is because of what I value, my values as a person. Because as a person, you have to know. Well, I say there are reasons I won't cheat. I can cheat if I want to, but I have that value. I've told myself that I would not be found where there's a lot of money and I'm embezzling. I don't want to be found there. If I know I can't control, I leave it. I get out of this space. So so someone said she doesn't know, but I told her, why wouldn't you know? That means your value system is not strong enough. Yes, we can be tempted. I'm not saying that we'll be able to trade up, but what helps you to also, be able to manage such situation is your values. It's not that the temptation will not come, but your reaction, your submission to what is coming is. I'm sure all of us on this table we've been tempted before, several times. But why didn't you do it? It's because your values are strong.
Values,
and it's not just values in here, our values from working with God as a Christian, because values don't just come from anywhere. It has to be your personal decision and then your work with God together. So I said those. My work with God will give me the strength I need to say no to what I shouldn't do, and then I have also spoken to myself, determined within me, made that decision within me that I'm not going to do this. So when it comes to my business, I would charge you for what it's worth. Those who know me. I would charge you for what it's worth. If you cannot afford it, it's okay. I believe that we can't service everybody. You will have your own crowd, people that can afford what you are doing. So at times, I would also want to buy from someone and it's high.
It's high, and you move on.
It's not expensive. I am the one that cannot afford. So I find the one I can afford. But in my own business, my staff knows that we don't cut corners. We use the right, materials. Because I don't know where this job I've done will end up. Right. A lot of people are going to see it.
Yes, and going to ask.
Yes, that who made it. I've made excuse for her that someone said she has deferred people several times from wearing it, at least a particular design this year. Last year. In fact, a lot of people say, "Hi, I saw it on national," and they kept coming. But if we didn't do it well, she would definitely not get people to admire it. So that's what people don't know. Most times when you are cutting corners, you are cheating yourself of the opportunities that can come tomorrow. That's just it. Because if you don't give the best to someone, they can't refer you and you cannot get another opportunity. The reason Beams was able to, the repeat customer was coming is because that woman has bought into the brand. That's brand. What I was saying the other time, that's brand equity. She has bought into that brand. So whatever anybody is saying to her, she can't go somewhere else. She just know in her head and her brain, it just Beams for decor. That's just it. And that's what we are building. So every time we are walking and we are cutting corners, you are also cutting, like I said the other time, you are cutting something out of what you should get as opportunity. So I don't do that. When I go to the market, I'm buying as if I'm buying for myself. What I would love to wear, what I would want to put on myself. That's what I want. I'm beautifying my customer. I am, why beautifying her? She's happy. She's able to talk about, I'm proud of what I've done. I'm happy to post a picture. I'm happy to say this is my job. That's what most people don't know. When you cheat others, you're also cheating yourself. Absolutely. Everything that goes around always comes back to you. That's just the truth. Fantastic. So for me, I wouldn't do that. So I have values about that, about giving the best to my customer. And that's good customer service. That's what we give to people. That's what we call customer service. So when customers are happy with what you deliver, and you even over deliver, not just deliver. So I always tell them, we are going to over deliver this job, not just deliver. Let us do our best, put in our best. The best, our fabrics, the best what do you call it, all the linings, everything you put inside, make sure they have good quality.
Fantastic.
Can I just say something to that? I always tell my staff, because in our business we have to rent so many things, because over the years I realized that we couldn't afford to we couldn't keep maintaining things, because the system changes quickly. Today they're using this, before the end of the year there's another, and I couldn't cope. So I said, okay, you know what, let's just rent. Now what she's saying about integrity and cost, you find out that when integrity fails, transaction cost increases.
Yes.
Do you understand?
When integrity fails,
the transaction cost increases. I'll give you a simple example. You'd send your staff, go rent tablecloth. The staff goes and comes back and says, auntie, tablecloth now is 2,500. Meanwhile, the tablecloth is still maybe 2,000 or even 1,500. He has cost the transaction cost to go up, because when I want to charge the clients now, I'm not going to charge 2,500. Even if it's a percentage, we'll still go on it. So when integrity is high, transaction cost goes down. But when integrity is low, like the guy who has added to the business, then the cost of goods go up. And that's what happens a lot. So you find that when your clients want a product, for example, if she's the one doing her direct purchases herself, her prices are okay. But the moment, for me, for example, I have like 4, 5, 6 middlemen, and they come and start adding this, adding that, they cause the price to go up. So how do I manage that? I send them, but I go behind them as well and call the person before they get there. Ejo, shaking insane. And I've been able to cut a lot of cost on that. Because the guys themselves will add.
They want to put 500 on top.
If it's even 500, it's okay. They put so much on it, and then you'll be wondering, how would I,
how do I charge the client?
So once in a while, I call behind, and by the time they get to me and they say, this is the price, I said, call him again, call him here and ask him. And then they know that.
Part of protecting the brand. Protecting your brand.
Yes. And then they know that.
Because anything they do will not be, it's not about them.
It's about
our brand.
So at the end of the day, they just quickly get it that maybe Auntie has gone behind. Then they'll now say, okay, Otilo Magba, he has reduced the cost already.
So these are, the checks and the balances that we need to put in place, that we have to put in place, because it's really important. You're talking about the things that aren't working in the economy, and the person, somebody who's already doing that. If that person has an opportunity to, issue checks and be a leader somewhere.
But that's what happens in our nation. They give out a road contract, X price. The middleman has put X plus
before it gets
by the time it gets to the hand of the person who is the whole thing
10 people have collected, cut out.
They compromise on it.
So when you want to do the road, the money
that's
so you
not
also
enough.
Want to reduce it. That's it.
Fantastic. So we have a solution from one of the your submissions now. Due diligence. Absolutely. And sometimes I say to people, when it gets to a point, it's not because I don't trust you. It's because this is what I must do. This is what I need to do.
It's not about
I have to verify. And I think we need to do better in that regard.
Because if your cost is so high, people will turn away.
If one leg, that I'm sure, have you heard things like that? So how do you, I'm coming to the pruning point now. The pruning process. That when you're faced with this kind of dilemma or situation, they say, so how do you just, I know, like you say, to keep a garden healthy, you have to prune away dead branches, you have to take out the weeds. So sometimes in business you have to cut off. So how do you, because sometimes we say, okay, let's cut off, but the person that you cut off goes somewhere else, and then that value that you have upheld, I mean, it's nothing to them. So
we've had people who have called back to say, can you give a referral to this person? And I tell them straight up, no, I can't. Because you didn't do well when you were with me. So in fact, you even had the guts to give them my name to call me. Did you think I would stand with you? No.
You must have plenty enemies. You know what I mean? Like,
I
want to address. You know why we're doing this?
Such a principled person like Mrs.
I wouldn't
Smith.
do that.
She's, when they say somebody is tough, she's tougher. If you ask my people, they will say, auntie, but there's some things that I put my foot down.
I can't take this.
I can't take this.
So how do we help? How do we help people out there listening?
We have to keep talking.
We keep talking.
Keep the conversation
going.
It's not every shortcut. It's not normal.
It's not normal.
Excellence is possible. We don't always have to put shortcut there. And then when things play out and they see that there must be a penalty. We did a job yesterday again. The guy needed to come back to correct the drapery. Like my sister said, he switched off his phone. So we couldn't reach him.
And it's on you. It's
event
on the
was
brand.
going to start at 10. This was 8 a.m. Wow. He had switched off his phone because he didn't want to come back to correct. So we said, okay, we got another draper to come in to correct it. This morning, by 8 o'clock, Auntie, my balance. I said, sorry, you don't have any balance. This is what you did. So you have to pay for it. So I had to keep his balance. I said, you can't collect anybody because my client is not paying me in full as well. So somebody has to bear the responsibility. So when it hits them, especially in the payment, the sit-up, I do that a lot because when I keep talking, because you can't throw everybody out. But I had to realize that, look, if it hits their money, then they behave better. Yeah, they behave better. A client complains, oh, this didn't happen, and I told you, you must do it, because you can't be there all the time. Yeah. But for them, they just look at it that we've done everything. This small thing doesn't matter. Meanwhile, it's that little thing
that the person
really wants. So at the end of the day, I take out of your money and tell you, well, this is your, just to let them know that I'm not going to allow. You to wreck my reputation, because it's important. If I tell a client this is what I'm delivering, we have to deliver. Shortcuts would never help anybody.
Wow.
Shortcuts.
It actually helps us to spend more than we should, because now you have to call another dripper to do that same. So then you lack integrity.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive.
It's expensive.
Lack of integrity is very expensive.
So shortcuts cannot become normal. Everybody likes that shortcut to be the normal modus operandi. It isn't. Excellence is possible.
It's possible.
Especially in this part of Nigeria. Most people who stress excellence, they call them mean people.
Mean people.
They call them wicked.
Yes, because that's where we're now looking at how do we bring this balance.
I know,
the young entrepreneurs who are trying, they want to, because what we're also saying that we're bringing people like yourselves on the show is to say that, we have models. Because if we say, everybody is doing, but we want to say, no, not everybody is doing it. There are people who are still, whose words are still their bond, and when they say, this is it, they still stand by it. So showcasing and saying there are models. So for younger ones who are coming up, because it may be tough, for some of them, you've been at it for decades, so they're just trying to come here. And sometimes that's where the struggle really is, that they're trying to find the bearing, and then there's a quick one to say, no, just go for it. Say, just quickly do this one. So how do we help them as well? We'll go on a short break, and then when we come back, we'll begin to tie everything together. Don't go away.
Character Matters for Nation Building with your host Oluwatoyin Ogedengbe on World Radio 89.3 FM. This conversation shapes lives. Welcome back to Character Matters for Nation Building.
Welcome back. It's still Character Matters for Nation Building on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. And I'm still your host, Oluwatoyin Ogedengbe. And my amazing guests are still very much here. Dr. Tino Smith and Mrs. Abimbola Okutiyang. And we want to begin to tie all of these up. We want to say, because you never can tell, there's one young entrepreneur out there who is listening. There's somebody out there who says, all these things, talk is cheap. They just sit there and talk. How do we want to begin to, especially the patience dividend? We live in a microwave world where, everybody wants instant results, But you can't force a seed to become a tree overnight. So in a marketplace that celebrates, fast money, overnight success. Yes. So how has, maybe I start with Mrs. Abimbola, your patience as particularly a horticulturist, how has it helped you to build a sustainable brand? You mentioned that there were several people, that you started together, and some of those businesses are not there. I'm sure it hasn't always been all easy, all bed of roses. Maybe there's somebody out there who's trying to want to do it right. They want to do it well. They want to, abide by the values of integrity, of honesty. What do you have to say to such kind of people? They're just somewhere that maybe they're even feeling overwhelmed already. Like, oh, is this really possible? How would you want to speak to encourage such people?
Yes, it is possible to maintain your integrity in business. I believe the word leadership is more of a test of your character. And your character, you pick from your values and your belief systems. So we need to go back to the inner you. Because it's the spirit of a man that sustains a man in times of
adversity and infirmity.
So it's important that you go back to the root of your faith. Because to be honest, if I didn't have a faith in Christ and my value system wasn't from there, I probably would have gone elsewhere. And even in starting my business, I got my business from my maker because I was asking him that, what do you really want me to do? I mean, where do you want me to really operate in? And he gave me that line of business. And I guess that's why I have remained there in the past 30 years. I might have deviated. I remember a time where it didn't look like I was making any good returns on income. My extended family were worried. When I say extended family, my mother in particular. And she felt, hey girl, you're bigger than this job you're doing. Why don't you go back into the academics? Why don't you, you were my shining star. I thought you'd be a professor, that kind of thing. And I said, okay. They say success is the best, how do they put it?
It has many friends. Okay.
That, to be successful,
you
really need to show people that you're successful in the area. So I said, okay. I had no choice. It was looking like everybody is telling you you're not making anything and you're still staying in this profession. Okay. So I went into UI and I started my journey as a lecturer. The day I was to pick up my letter as lecturer 2 in UI, a busy lecturer 1, that was when I missed because I had lost my peace. Everything around me fell apart because they knew that wasn't my path. I was just trying to please my mom. So I had to come back. Even my supervisor, she didn't understand it because the way I held forth in the department, she saw me taking over from her. But I just knew that wasn't where I was meant to be. So in patience, you rediscover who you are. And then you go back to your why, how you started. Did you start because that was what was in vogue? Why did you start this business? And then when your why is stronger than whatever challenge you're facing at that time, it's a lot easier for you to just be patient, knowing that there are seasons in everyone's life.
There are seasons.
And then you just identify the season you're at and you just kind of allow the season to play out. So for me, I think that was what really happened. I had to re-navigate and I realized that no, I'm supposed to be in this profession. So I came back. And then when I came back, my why was clearer and then I could put all my passion into it. That look, there's no going back. If we're even going to have anything else, it will be an offshoot of this. But it won't be a total deviation from maybe I just wake up one morning and I say, because Datina is doing well, I want to become a tailor. It won't happen. It has to be in the line of my chosen.
Of your chosen. And then you will face challenges.
Exactly. But because you know why you're
obstacles.
In it, you stay in it. You go because even all those challenges, they're testing times for bringing up a better you. They give you more clarity when you go through those challenges and you stay in it. It's a process. And you see things clearer. And you become a better person. It's like saying you want to go through school without any examination. Then you will stay in primary 1 when your mates are doing exams and they're going to the next class and the next, because life is about exams and tests. The more you pass them, the more you go higher. And then you become, a lead in your area.
Your chosen area of enterprise. Fantastic. I really do hope that somebody is listening or will listen, because we have this on Facebook, that somebody someday somewhere will get to see this interview, in conversation, and will be encouraged to say, oh, I'm not alone. Or maybe there's even someone there, says, oh, with all this integrity thing now, with all this how far now the integrity we go chop, but that we will get there. And those who are here today, the amazing women here, they're also saying that it has not always been a bed of roses. There have been challenges, but they've shown resilience, patience. And it's important that we're speaking all of these, that it's not just going to happen overnight. Everything is about process, and that you have to make up your mind, be determined that you will give it what it takes. So I want to ask you, Dr. Smith, have you ever lost a life-changing contract because you refused to settle the boys, you refused to take a bribe, you refused to, drop the ball? And how did you handle?
Okay, most times my business,
the character ache.
I don't think I've faced such challenges. What I've seen most times is when they want to give me something and already see it that maybe there's an opportunity, and I've looked at the whole journey from beginning to the end and see that there's no way I'm not going to cut corners with this. I wouldn't take it at all. Not to even go on the journey. So once I see, I'm looking at so most times when we see contracts that are big, just think it's all about the money. But I'm looking at the whole process. What is going to happen in between? Who am I going to communicate with? Who am I going to interact with on this journey? What are they going to be asking? So I'm doing all the I'm evaluating everything from the beginning, so that I can see the end from the beginning. Then it will help you make the right decision. If it's a journey I should take or not. So that's how I do my own. I don't get to the middle and now wondering, God, what am I doing here? No. So I'm looking at the whole process and asking
from
all the right
outset,
questions,
asking all the
so when
right
that
questions
would help me to make an informed decision. So that is it. So it has helped me not to be in the middle of any temptation that is beyond my power. So that's how I see it.
Okay, so
I have some. I would like to talk about some things we need to do especially for the younger generation. We need to, we need to create integrity ecosystems. That's one where people have accountability. I mean, they have groups they can be accountable to, like mentors, So they need a lot of that now, because at times they don't even know the right decisions to make. Exactly. So they have messed up. Then they now want somebody to help them. So so that's what I'm saying. I would rather share how I am able to evaluate before I go on a journey. But the younger ones now, they don't even want to know what's going on. Once they see that,
once they see like this is fast,
they just
quick,
jump
quick,
in.
Quick
when
money.
they jump in, at times they make a huge loss. After they've jumped in, there's nothing to after 6 months of doing that project, then they now complain that they worked so hard, there's nothing. I say, did you evaluate
before?
So that's where creating integrity ecosystem comes in, where we are responsible to one another, accountable to one another. We're able to mentor, we're able to give counsel, we're able to direct and all that. So also we have to model it. Those of us that are already need models, people that would show them this is share everything where I've missed it, where I've messed up, where we are not hiding anything. We're showing them this is how it is, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The mistakes I've made, you don't have to make
those mistakes.
You can stand on my shoulder and see far. So that is why we need to model it. Everyone listening out there, you're a counselor, you're a mentor. We need to own it as part of our duty to the society, to the younger generation, to teach them all these things. We must model it. Well, except you don't have it, you can't give what you don't have. Yeah. So then we also have to teach the young ones that everything is not about fast money. Yes, they need to understand what reputation equity is. That's another thing. They need to know that they are building something. Everything you do is adding, like she said, you are depositing something. As you work in integrity, it's a deposit. Because if you keep working in lack of integrity, you are taking something. Deposit and what is that? Withdrawing. So the more you withdraw, there's nothing left there. The day you now need something, there's nothing to take. So
I wish we had more time. I wish we had more time. You can see what I was talking about, that my guests today are loaded powerhouses, but you can be the priceless citizen. As we close the doors of the nest today on Character Matters, I want you to look at the clothes on your back and the environment around you. We have learned today from the pattern and the soil that excellence is not an accident. Whether you're sewing a garment or planting a garden, you are ultimately building a life. What kind of life are you building? What kind of nation are we building? Let's build together. I'm still your host, and this is where we draw the curtain today. This is Oluwatoyin Ogedengbe saying a very big thank you to our guests today, Dr. Tinu Smith and Mrs. Abimbola Okutiang, and of course all those who have made this an amazing show today. Thank you. We'll see you again next week by the grace of God. Bye for now.
FM, your preferred wholesome radio. The time is 4 p.m. from Wells Radio 89.3 FM.